Welcome in, welcome in. Whenever you come in, don't forget to share out the live and tap the screen. In today's live, I'm going to be talking about 3 things that's costing you your crown. That's what we're going to talk about so that I can help y'all on y'all transformation journey. Just waiting for a couple of people to come in before I start. So before I start, I'm going to just, introduce myself. My name is Precious K. I'm a transformational life coach, prophetess, author, and a motivational speaker. I'm here to help you if you're dealing with betrayal, if you've experienced narcissistic abuse, if you deal with workplace bullying, or if you're in toxic relationships and you don't know how to detach. So I can help you master detachment. So that's what I do. So whenever you come in, don't forget to introduce yourself. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 things that's costing you your crown as the chosen one. I'm going to just go ahead and start because I said I got 2 people in. So the first thing I want to talk about is the first thing that's costing you your crown is settling for counterfeit relationships. God called you to be in, well, God, is showing you that you're in the wrong relationship, but you still keep choosing counterfeit relationships. That's costing you your crown because it's a distraction and it's hindering your growth with God. It could be a toxic relationship. It could be a toxic friendship, a toxic job that you're in that God is calling you from. When God is calling you, from those type of situations, you got to know how to detach from it. Let me see. Because whether you know it or not, every time you settle for a counterfeit, you trading your crown for crumbs. So just know that in this season, it's imperative that you don't settle for the wrong relationships. You don't settle at jobs that God is calling you from. You eliminate the distractions. Before I move on to the second one, do I have anybody that's in this live right now that's dealing with counterfeit relationships? You don't know how to detach, or you're stuck at a job and you don't know how to detach from those certain jobs? If so, let's talk about it. Welcome in, welcome in. I see I got one person in here. Well, I see 4 people, but I can't see y'all. If y'all comment, I can't see you in the chat. Whenever you come in, don't forget to introduce yourself and let me know where you're from. Okay, I see 19 people. Okay. So do I have anybody in here that's dealing with having a hard time mastering detachment? Whether it's the workplace, like I said, toxic relationships. Welcome in all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. Amanda, thank you for stopping by today. Welcome in, Nisha Nicole. She stopped by. Yay. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And Amanda says yes. So Amanda, if you don't mind sharing, what is one thing that you find it difficult to detach from on your journey that's costing you your crown as the chosen one? Thank y'all so much for liking the live. I appreciate it. Yeah, come on in and show all the love. Come on in and share out this live. Welcome in, King. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you subscribing to my channel, Nisha and King. I appreciate you guys for subscribing. Okay, so what's his name? KJ Bo is from South Africa. Thank you so much for stopping by all the way from South Africa. I appreciate you. Welcome in, Edward. Okay, so Amanda says that she's having a hard time detached from karmic family. Oh, karmic family copycat. Oh, goodness. I definitely can relate to you on. I know what you mean with that. So what is one thing that's making it hard for you to detach? Like, what's in the way of you detaching? Is it hard for you to let go because you feel guilty when you detach? Or what is it? Hey, welcome in, Amanda. I appreciate you for coming in. Okay, so, and I'm going to come back to you, Amanda. Whenever you answer your question, I'm going to go to Nicole. She said, I've completely detached, just waiting for the door to open. That's awesome, Nisha Nicole. That's awesome. It will open. Just keep praying strategically on what you want. As long as you in alignment, God will answer your prayers. And the male say, what's your favorite color? I have several different colors. Rose gold, orange, blue, purple. Yes. But I know well, I'm waiting on Amanda to answer that question, but I can piggyback off a little bit of what you're saying, Amanda. When it comes to family, for some reason you're going to deal with a lot of copycats For some reason, like people in the family, they want to feel like they the original. So what they'll try to do is try to outshine you to try to make it seem like they're the original because they want you to look up to them. Because a lot of times family don't like that you surpassing them. I don't know what it is about family, but it's a lot of copycat energies in families. Let me see. Yeah, if you have questions, go ahead and ask. Nisha says, trusting that what God has for me, it is for me. And it will be. Welcome in, Emerge. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Yep. If you didn't catch it at the beginning, we are talking about 3 things that's costing you your crown. And the first one I said is settling for counterfeits, whether it's relationships, your family, toxic jobs, or church. Okay, so Amanda said, no, I'm thinking the copycat that my false soulmate that he was connected to. I do conversate with him here and there, and she's doing spells and things still. Oh, wow. Yeah, you have to be careful with, just I definitely would distance myself from around that person. Yeah, just be careful with that, Amanda. Okay, so K Jabo says, I'm stuck at school, but I've detached long time ago. I'm waiting on, got to make a way for me. Okay. And don't feel like you're stuck. You just in a season where you just have not gotten to where you want to go. But don't never look at yourself as stuck because you're not stuck. That's a temporary situation. Welcome in, Amy. Shout out. I'm Allie. Welcome in, Allie. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. And if you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. Amanda said, I did. I'm going to need to get a personal reading from you because I don't trust everyone. Okay. Well, we can definitely talk personal. Now, when it comes to readings, I don't do readings. I just do coaching sessions. I don't do anything dealing with tarot cards. I don't believe in stuff like that. I mean, everybody have their own beliefs, but with me, when you work with me, we're getting it out the mud. I believe in God, and God do drop prophetic, downloads. So whatever download that he dropped me, I definitely can help you, but I don't consider it as a reading because I'm not into tarot. But yes, if you want to book with me, Amanda, you can head over to my bio or at the beginning of this profile. I should have put it in, I might put it in my description too, but it's at the beginning of my profile. And if you don't see exactly the type of coaching session that you need, just reach back out to me and I can have you fill out a form so you can tell me exactly what you need and so I can hone in on exactly what you need. Welcome in, Eric Henderson. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you so much. A gorgeous face. Also, we know she's the queen of YouTube. So when you come in, hit that thumbs up. I know that's right. When y'all come in, hit that thumbs up. Yes, because I'm going to be dropping gems. I appreciate you. He coming in with the positive vibes. I like that, Eric. Thank you. Welcome in, Jacqueline. Okay, so Amy said, thank you. I'm actually new. Why does it say crown #1? Well, the title of this live is the 3 things that's costing you your crown, and like I said, the first one settling for counterfeits. So I'm not sure where you see the #1 at. Okay. And I just also want to let you know that you can't wear a crown and beg for validation at the same time as the chosen one, because as the chosen one, God don't want you to be seeking validation. He wants you to trust your intuition and make your own decisions. That's why he's giving you these prophetic gifts. Okay, so Emerge said, could you make me a moderator on your channel? Let me see. Sure. Let me see. Okay. You should be, or you went now? I think I just did it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need a moderator because you always have some people come in and want to act crazy. So, yeah, I definitely need that. But so let's go ahead and dive into the second thing that's costing you your crown. The second thing that's costing you your crown is carrying dead weight. And what I mean by that, when I say carrying dead weight, toxic family members, you carrying unforgiveness, you carrying old versions of yourselves. Because a lot of times, like I said, you can want to, elevate or want to transform. But if you carrying old versions of yourself, unforgiveness, or you still in toxic family ties, God is not, you're not giving God room to elevate you, because those are distractions. So before God elevates you, you got to remove those distractions. You cannot reign while still babysitting demons, and they trying to dethrone you. Because the people around you, like I said, you have some people around you, you might think they're for you, but they're actually trying to dethrone you and take your space. So, and how you know that is, if you have somebody that's obsessed with your energy, if you have somebody that's trying to sabotage you or just trying to bully you out your spot, that's how you will know. Because you're going to have people that do that. I'm not sure, like I said, I can't really speak for everybody else, but I know with me, I had a lot of people trying to bully me out my spot in the workplace, in families, in relationships. They just get jealous of your energy and who you are, because a lot of people, they don't know how to be their authentic selves. They live in their lives in illusions of what power looks like. And when they see a chosen one, we actually exude what they want to have. And that's why we get attacked so much, because they don't know how to exude authentic confidence like we do. So they look at us like we're being arrogant, but we're not being arrogant. We're confident, and we know who we are and whose we are. And that's why we get attacked most of the time as a chosen one. But you got to be able to discern those spirits and the patterns that they operate in, so that you can know how to to detect the attack before it even take root. Talking so fast. Yes. Because if you can detect the attack before it takes root, you will start knowing, like, okay, I see how you moving. I see how you moving. I'm not going to give you my energy. You start knowing how to do things. And that's what I teach you in my coaching sessions. I teach you how to discern certain things so that you don't keep falling in those same traps. Because for some reason, like I said, a lot of people, they're intentionally trying to provoke your spirit. They're intentionally trying to bait you in these traps so that they can take your power and dethrone you, so that you can't open up and find your fullest potential. Because you got to understand, these people that are attacking you, they don't want you to reach your fullest potential. So they're trying to suppress your shine. They're trying to silently torment you so that you will never make it. But you have to discern it, because if you're not, like a lot of people, I've seen it in the workplace, they dumb themselves down, they shrink down, and let managers and other coworkers control them. Don't let nobody control y'all. But I'm telling you, some people think because they in certain positions that they can control you. Do not let them control you. Stand on business. Okay, K-Bo say a lot of copycats out here. It annoys, say it annoys me. Yes, the copycat energy, that right there. I don't know what it is about that copycat energy, because you got to understand, way the copycat energy come from, a lot of people want to take shortcuts. They don't want to go through the fire like we had to go through as chosen ones. They just want to take, they want the glory but not the story. Yes. They don't want to go through, like I said, being forged in the fire, going through the spiritual attacks, because they don't know how to handle that. So that's why God did not give them that anointing. Many are called, but few are chosen. Sometimes some of them could be called, but guess what? They was too afraid to answer the call and the calling, so God did not trust them with that calling, or the gifts. So they, like I said, you're dealing with a lot of attacks because you're doing stuff that they was afraid to do. But what you got to understand, as a chosen one, be careful, because when they're attacking you, some chosen ones, they might end up shrinking because, you're not educated to the attacks. You end up, they end up, what they like to do is manipulate you through fear. So don't let nobody, if you around a spirit that's trying to make you in fear or afraid, do not submit, and do not shrink down who you are, because God didn't give us the spirit of fear. He gave us the spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. So just know that if you feel in fear, God didn't give you the spirit of fear. You know something is wrong with that person's energy. But the copycat energy, like I said, I cannot stand it. You got to be careful. Like when a lot of people, I can't speak for everybody else, but I know for me, when a lot of people seeing me growing up and just glowing up fast, some people feel like you shouldn't be glowing up faster than you are. And sometimes, as a chosen one, we surpass a lot of people. So they'll try to keep you down, but they want to copy you. But it's like they want to copy you, but they want to erase who you are. And that's what I dealt with too. A lot of people trying to delete me. No, you can't delete me, you know. But they will try to delete you if they can't be you. Because first they'll try to copy you. If they see they can't copy you, they'll try to outshine you. If they can't outshine you, that's when they'll try to delete you. So you have to be very discerning to those type of spirits. If you're dealing with somebody that's got that copycat energy, somebody that's trying to one-up you, somebody that's trying to outshine you, or somebody that's trying to sneak dish you, you got to pay attention to those signs, because those are signs that they're trying to dethrone you. Let me see. Because whether you know it or not, carrying that dead weight is what's costing you your crown as well. Do y'all have any questions about the carrying the dead weight, or do I have anybody on here that's dealing with unforgiveness, where it's hard to forgive? Do I have anybody on here that's finding it hard to forgive? Because that's another thing that can, that's costing you your crown. Because no matter how much somebody hurt us, we still got to forgive them. Not forget, but we still got to forgive and release. Kajabo say you can't outshine the player. I know that's right. They can't outshine the chosen ones. And see, the thing about the chosen ones, like, we don't even have to do nothing to get the attention that we get. We don't even seek attention. But you got to understand, the people that's trying to outshine you, they live in all, they want applause. They want people they seek validation. They live in a life in insecurity. They're afraid to make moves. They're afraid to invest themselves. So like I said, you exude what they know they'll never have, or what they feel like they can never do. So that's why they're attacking you. But don't confuse those attacks with making you feel like you're weak. Because I'm telling you, they will try to take your power. But in this season, it's time to reclaim your throne. And that's why I started this business, because I want to help you reclaim your throne and your power. We're not letting nobody dethrone us in this season. Because for some reason, a lot of people, they dealing with that Jezebel spirit, where they want to control you. They want to dominate you. And like I said, they want to outdo you. They want to, I don't know what it is. It's like they want to own you. It's almost like they want to control your emotions, like a puppet master. I'm not sure if y'all dealt with anybody trying to control your emotions, but they want to have control over everything you do. Whether you're happy, when you be sad, when you get promotions. It's like they want to be the cause of it. So in this season, God, he's, honing down on the people that's trying to play God in your life. God didn't call nobody here to play God, because he's the only God. But a lot of people, like I said, they think that they can end things for you when they get ready, or up to them when it comes to promotions for you. And I don't know if y'all experience it, especially in the workplace, you'll have people that's trying to block you from being promoted. I've dealt with that. They'll smile in your face, but be blocking you. And you got to watch out for certain coworkers as well, because the coworkers, they'll get in good with the manager, and they'll form cliques against you. Manager or start choosing favoritism, and they'll all come together and attack you. You have to be careful with that. So don't overshare too much information in the workplace about your personal life or things that God is doing for you. That's what I had to learn. Oversharing definitely almost tried to cost me my crown, but I'm like, nope. I stood on business and I just moved accordingly. You have to detach from the wrong people. So do I have anybody out here that dealing with, let me see. So we talk about unforgiveness. So do I have somebody on here that finding it difficult, or like for moving on from being betrayed? That's another thing. I know I can't speak for everybody else, but I know I found it difficult to forgive. That's been very hard for me. But I had to, because like I said, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't forgive. It took me a while. You don't, like I said, you can forgive, but you don't forget. Yes. So, okay, I didn't see nobody else say they had anything. So do y'all, before I move on to number 3, do y'all have any situations or scenarios y'all want to talk about pertaining to what I was saying? Okay, so I'm going to move to number 3. So number 3, the third thing that's costing you your crown is doubting who you are. Because when you doubt who you are, you basically vulnerable for the enemy. Because like I say, the enemy wants you to stay asleep. The enemy wants you not to be awakened to who you are so he can control you and control you through people. Because a lot of people that don't know who they are, they're afraid to make moves. Like I said, it's easy for you to be manipulated because you're not awakened to what you need to be awakened to. And sometimes it can come from the lack of faith or fear of being seen. Okay, so Kajab will say my lectures at school are attacking me by constantly rejecting my assignments. I'm like, dude, I carry names older than the sun. I know that's right. Just keep praying. Yep, just keep praying. The enemy just don't want you to be great. And I just also want to let you know that, when you doubt yourself, the enemy don't really have to fight you because guess what? You're doing it for him. So don't make it easy for the enemy to cause you to fumble your blessing. Don't let him cause you to fumble your blessing. Okay, so Emerge says the devil uses imposter syndrome to try to keep us from reaching out our full potential and fulfilling our purpose. That's right, Emerge. That's a good one. Imposter syndrome. Yep, because a lot of times you might feel like you're not good enough. And that's the main thing. You feel like you're not good enough or you feel like you're not qualified to do certain things. But that right there sets you back. So do you want to elaborate a little bit more, Emerge, on a scenario that you might be went through with imposter syndrome, if you don't mind sharing? Because I know how it is. And while I'm waiting on your response, I'm going to just keep talking. But I know, like, for me, with me being a transformational life coach as well, I find it difficult. Like, sometimes you're thinking, like, okay, when I get people to book my services, like, are they going to take me seriously? That was imposter syndrome. Are they going to take me seriously? Or are they going to trust me? Like, I dealt with a lot of things when it came to being a transformational life coach. And also with me stepping into the prophetess role. When God bless you with a lot of gifts, you just got to step into it. You don't rush into nothing and don't do nothing if you feel pressured. But like I said, I took my time and stepped into my roles. I didn't, let nobody pressure me. I didn't let nobody talk me out of things. I just did things because I trust my intuition and I trust God. Because I'm going to tell you, in this season, I can't speak for everybody else, but God will bless you. And he'll be calling you to do things that you might be afraid to do or you might not think you qualified to do. And that's where that imposter syndrome coming in at. Don't think that you're not qualified. If God calling you to do it, he know you qualified, but he wants you to see it. And he's going to take you through certain tests so you can see it. And those tests, I'm going to be honest, they're not going to be easy tests. You're going to have to face your demons. Because I had to face mine, and I'm telling you, it was ugly. Healing is not pretty, and healing is not easy. And there's a lot of people out here. Okay, Emerge say, when I became a published poet in my early 20s and had success. That's good. Congratulations on that achievement. Congratulations on that. And what encouraged you to do it? Like, did you have imposter syndrome before you pursued that goal, Emerge? And if you did, how did you overcome that? If you don't mind sharing with everybody else, because somebody might need to hear it. Yep, you never know what somebody might be going through. I'm just waiting on your response. But yes. And I just want to encourage you guys, like I said, when God is calling you to do something, don't shrink back. Okay, so Emerge say, yes, I was shy. I was discovered by a talent agent that came to my city. That's awesome. Like I said, I know you could be shy, but don't look at shy as being imposter syndrome, but it can make you shrink back and be afraid to make the move you need to make. But what you need to know is when you're scared, that's when you should really do it. Do it scared. Because that letting you know that that's the move. The move that you're scared to make is the move that you need to make. Welcome in, Analysis and Lady. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. Because what you got to understand is your crown is connected to your confidence. When you answer that call and when you start walking boldly in your truth, that confidence is going to come. And that's why God taking you through those tests, because he got to fully equip you. Because what God is not going to do, a lot of people like that want to take shortcuts. They think God just going to rain blessings, where they don't have to put the work in, the people, and they want to just take shortcuts. But no, when God bless you, before he bless you, he going to take you through a lot of tests, and they're not going to be easy tests. He ain't going to put too much on you than you can bear, but the test is not going to be easy. He need to make sure that you fully equipped, and he's going to prune you before you get that breakthrough. And he also going to test you to see, okay, if I bless you, would you still serve me? Because a lot of people, they just, they want the blessings, but then they don't want to serve God. They forget about God. But God is not going to bless you if after he bless you, forget about him. God going to make sure you continue to serve him. Okay, so Kajabi says, if I knew earlier that healing was ugly, I wouldn't even try it. I would still be carrying trauma by now. Yes. And see, that's the thing. That's why God pulled you in the wilderness, because he don't want you to know, the test you're going to go through. And see, one thing about when he pull you into the wilderness, once he pull you in, it ain't no turning back around. You got to keep going forward. It's only up from there. And I ain't gonna lie, I can relate to that, Kajabo, because if we knew that we had to do those tests, we would not want to do it. But that's why God does it the way he do. And like I said, when I went through my test, I was so angry. I was just like, oh my goodness, this is not what I prayed for. Because a lot of times we can pray for things, but the way God bless us is not going to be the way you thought you was going to be blessed. Because I never thought I had to face all these demons before I'm seeing my breakthrough. Somebody's so negative. Go ahead and block who that is. Yeah, don't come in here with the negativity. I'm going to tell you right now, when you come in with negativity, you will be blocked. We're talking about God. We're talking about positive things. And I also want to encourage you. I'm glad that that person made a little negative comment, because I want to piggyback off that. Like when you're thriving and when you're confident in yourself, you're going to have people that's trying to troll you because they're afraid to do what you're doing. But what you got to understand is the people that's trolling you, they don't have no subscribers. They're afraid to do what you do. So they want to do things to try to throw you off your game. But I'm here to encourage you. Do not let them throw you off your game. You keep doing you, because people are going to be jealous. And like I said, when you a chosen one and when you confident and walking in who God calling you to be, those comments are not even going to reach you. So I don't let little comments come off me. And thank you so much for coming in, Emerge, to be my moderator. Yes. But that's one thing, like I said, you got to be able to walk into your he said, I got him gone, devil. Emerge the trip. Yep, thank you. I like that. He said, bring that nigga, the small boy, to South Africa. Exactly. Yeah. They just want to suppress your shine. But like I said, God brought me a long way. You know what I'm saying? You can't, if you want to be successful, if you want to be a chosen one, you cannot worry about stuff. Yes. Go ahead and block who that is. Yes. This person ain't got no subscribers. You don't even have a profile picture. Get on out of here. But yes. Yeah, but don't doubt yourself. Like a lot of people, oh yeah, when you speaking these type of topics, it makes them upset. So you're going to deal with a lot of attacks. I'm so used to it. But you got to understand, if nobody's hating you, that means that you're not doing anything. Yes. That means you're not doing anything, because people attack you because you calling them out. The people that's attacking you, whether you know it or not, it could be people at your job, it could be people in your family. Like when you calling them out and talking about certain situations, they want to attack you because they want to stay hidden in the shadows. But with us, you know what I'm saying, we come on here boldly, you know what I'm saying, we have, we show our face. We don't hide behind fake profiles. And that's what upsets the people that, like I said, trying to attack your confidence. I deal with that all the time. People trying to attack your confidence. They don't have the courage to do what you do. They're afraid to do what you do. So like I said, that's why God bringing you so high, because You know, that's why we vibe at such a high frequency, because they can't even reach us, and they mad because they can't reach us. Kajabo say he's single, and Robert say we got to show love at all. Exactly, show love at all times. And that let you know you're doing your thing. If somebody got to come in and say something negative, they let you know you're doing your thing, and they let you know you stepping on the enemy neck. Cause just like we got assignment, they got assignment too. You know, they want to disturb and distract what we do. But let me tell you something. Ain't no devil in hell gonna stop me from speaking my truth. And like I say, I'm gonna be honest, when you come to my page, some of the stuff I might say gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, and I don't care, because I'm doing what God called me to do. Okay, so Robert say, Pastor Robert Horton from Horse Cave, Kentucky. Welcome in, Pastor Robert. I appreciate you for stopping by. But yeah, when God calling you to be a prophetess or a pastor, I know you probably can relate, Robert. You're going to deal with a lot of attacks, because people, like I said, we can see through them. We can discern a lot of evil spirits that they're battling. And some people, they choose to stay in darkness because they're afraid of the light. Yes. And like I said, a lot of people, you deal with attacks too, because they want you to doubt yourself. They want you to be self-conscious, or they want to make you stop showing up. But let me tell you something. I want to encourage you today. Like, if you're dealing with those type of attacks, keep showing up. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody suppress your shine. Keep showing up and doing you. And see, that's why a lot of people are afraid to show up, because like I say, when you deal with certain attacks, to some people, like the people that do those type of things, they was able to get people to stop. But like I said, when you are chosen one, you cannot, fall into those traps that the enemy is setting for you. Don't let nobody cause you to doubt yourself. You got to know who you are, and like I say, and know whose you are. Yes. Because people say anything. It's like, for some reason, they can't stand to see a person being confident and doing what they want to do. Okay, so okay, let me see. Okay, Robert says, amen, amen. And he said, good things coming to me. Pastor Robert Horton from Horoscope. Yes, you got to keep praying. They sure will. And Lady Stephanie say, y'all pray for me. We definitely will, Stephanie, we definitely will. Whatever you're going through, I pray God open your eyes and help you get through your situation. And if you need prayer, if you really want more prayer, you can go to my bio. And if you want to share what you're going through, or want to share what you need prayer with, I also have a prayer request form you can fill out. And the prayers are free. I do not charge for prayers, so. And I also have a spiritual warfare prayer book as well. If you need prayer, you could check out my book as well, because a lot of people, you might be dealing with witchcraft attacks. You might be dealing with, humiliation ritual, smear campaigns, people gaslighting you, all type of scenarios. I have my spiritual warfare prayer book. It has over 55 battle-tested prayers that I've experienced that I can help you get through in that book. It's called, when you go to my bio, it's called Forged in the Flames, Birth Out the Fire, Destined for the Throne. Spiritual warfare prayers for chosen ones rising from betrayal, loss, and heartbreak. So those are some powerful prayers that I know will help you, because they definitely helped me on my journey. Every word that I spoke reached God. So if y'all want some healing, get that book. Okay, so Robert said, I need healing from a hernia. I definitely will pray for you, Robert. I heard of a lot of people that went through that, and I heard that it was very painful. I pray that God help you get through that situation. Yes, Lord. But like I said, I just want to encourage you. Like I said, don't let nobody knock y'all off y'all game. Don't overshare information with the wrong people. If you in the workplace, be careful of the coworkers. All coworkers are not your friends. I'm just gonna let you say that they are not your friends. They are there to compete with you. They're there to try to play favorites with the managers and get you in trouble. You might find a couple coworkers that might be okay, but I'm telling you, at the job I was at, it was a lot of hate and envy. And whatever you do, do not give them your social media information, because they stalk you on your page too. That's why I might be dealing with some stalkers from that job on this page, but I really don't care, because I'm gonna speak. And if I step on their toes, that's fine. Ship me on my page. Yep. Okay, so Robert said I need healing from acid reflux. Okay, I definitely pray for you on that as well. Welcome in, Lady Bowles. I appreciate you coming in and stopping by. Yep, we was talking about 3 things that's costing you your crown. The first one was selling for counterfeits. The second one was carrying dead weight. And the third one was doubting who you are. So we already covered those 3. Right now, I'm just doing Q&A. Like if y'all want to talk about certain topics or whatever y'all want to talk about, that's what I'm here for. Concerning these things that, like I say, you're afraid to step out and do things. God giving you a gift and you're afraid to use your voice. I can also coach and help you on that as well. Like I said, do not be afraid because God didn't call us here to be afraid. Okay, so Kajabi said, do you think there are consequences for being of the devil? Yes, there are consequences for people who worship the devil, I feel. But you got to understand, like, just like, God give us an assignment, they got an assignment too. And they don't even understand they being used and deprived of their peace, by their whole journey is attacking people. So basically, they just a pawn in your story. You live in a very miserable life if you worship the devil, because all they do, like I said, they attack you in anything you do and just hate on you. Who wants to be a hater? God didn't call us here to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a chosen one, like I said, they envy your light. They envy that you get to live in peace. They envy that you confident in who you are and you can show up without having to hide. Because all these people that's attacking you, they'll never be bold enough to say it in your face. They'll always hide behind the shadows because they're afraid of your light. And like I said, they don't know how to be their authentic self because the whole time they live in illusions. So you got to understand, you cannot let them knock you off your game because they still asleep. You woke. They trying to get to where you are. So that's why I say do not let their comments affect you. Those little attacks, I'm telling you, it just going to bounce, let it bounce off you like water. Because they can't reach where you at. Okay. A lot of people, like I said, they attack you too because they don't want to be left behind, but they refuse to put the work in to get where they want to be at. Okay, somebody say, pray that I will stay in faith. I definitely will. Okay, so Emerge said, what's your opinion on the end time? Do you think that we are in the last days? Emerge, to be honest with you, like I said, I don't really look at the end time or worry about the last days because God didn't tell me anything that, about it being the last days. I just go for the day. I don't really think we're in the last days. It ain't over till God says over. Robert said, pray that it won't be no unbelief in my life. I definitely will. I pray that God give you clarity. I pray that, God strengthen your faith. Because sometimes, like, when situations happen, it's so hard for us to, not believe. You know what I'm saying? Because the enemy be throwing all these attacks at you to make you feel like, dog, is God answering my prayer? And see, that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to second guess yourself. But I'm here to tell you today, do not let the enemy throw you off your game. Do not let the enemy have you second guess yourself or what God telling you to do. When God tell you to do something, do it. Don't hesitate. Welcome in, Bella. Thank you so much for coming in. Lady Boss say, hi, I'm hurt from family members and kids, dead, so-called friends. It seems everyone I meet, I get a little fearful and scared. The next man will hurt me in my heart. Okay, I see you still typing or finishing your thing. I can definitely relate to you on that, lady. I know sometimes, especially when it comes from family, because the betrayals hurt so bad when it comes from family, because they close to you. They like your bloodline. So when they hurt you, the betrayal sting more because guess what? They know how to press your buttons. They know how to attack you. They know what areas you're weak in. Because a lot of times, like I say, with being chosen, you can't show everybody your weaknesses because they'll hone in them areas and try to attack you more. But and like I said, your family, they kind of figure out, they kind of think that they already know your weaknesses. But what I would say to that, don't be afraid. I know, you know what I'm saying, you've been hurt by those family members, but the ones that you've been hurt by, I would definitely remove myself from around them. You don't, but you got to understand, a lot of people think that they obligated to have to be around your family. No, you don't have to be around them. If they disrespecting you, you got to remove yourself, you know, and don't keep inviting them in your space. Okay, so let me see how I've been. And when it comes to relationships, I can understand you too, lady, when you say you get fearful and you're scared when you meet a new person because you think they're going to hurt you. I mean, it's very normal to think like that, but when God bless you, I'm not sure if just pray for discernment and ask God to show you signs of if that's the right person. Because if you're talking to somebody and that's not the right person, God gonna show you. Just pray strategically on what you want. Like, just ask God, is this the right person for me? Don't be afraid. Just ask God, is this person in alignment with what I want? Because he will show you. And when he do, you got to take heed to it. Because a lot of times people ask God to show them something or bless them with certain things. And then when God do it, they don't take heed to it. You got to take heed to it. If God telling you that a person ain't it, you got to move on past them. Don't get so attached to the person. Like, if God showed you that he's not the one, don't get so attached to him. Because if you get attached, then you're going to get a soul tie. And it's going to be hard to let that person go. Okay, so where I'm at now, I need someone in my life that will love me. Just pray for it, Robert. Pray that God brings somebody in your life that will love you, that would, that would be there for you and that have your best intentions. They have the right intentions for you. Because a lot of people, like I say, they can be in your life, but they don't have the right intentions, or they don't have, they don't have your best interests at heart. So you got to be discerning to those situations, because some people, like I said, you could be sleeping with the enemy and not even know it. Pray, pray that God show you. Okay. I can also tell you this, Robert, and I hope this helped you. Any relationships or any situations, if you notice there's chaos and confusion, that's not your person. Okay, Lady Boss said, my heart feels scared. Okay, Lady Boss, do you want to elaborate on that? So I can get a better understanding of why your heart feels scared, so I can give you some good advice. Lady Stephanie, and I'm going to come back to you whenever you respond in the chat. Lady Stephanie says, there is so much going on right now. I just need so much direction. I'll be more than happy to coach you and assist you, Lady Stephanie. If you want to go into detail, you don't have to go into detail in this chat, but if you want to book a session with me, look at my services that I offer. And if it's something that you want that I don't have, just reach out to me and I have you fill out a form so we can, get a better understanding of what you need. But I definitely can help you, try to help you. I got to figure out what exactly that you're needing. Welcome in, Robert Lawrence. Thank you so much for coming in. He said, that's right. Okay, K. Jabo said, do you think God forces chosen ones to heal? Because I was never going to choose to heal. Healing process sucks. You know what, K. Jabo? I feel like God do force certain chosen ones to heal if he choose you. Like I said, many are called, but few are chosen. And he's choosing you to heal because he know that you have what it takes to carry out the purpose. He trusts you. And like I said, we are forced into this season. I know I was forced into mine. And I'm going to be honest, when I got into it, I didn't want nothing to do with it. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to go through this. I was angry because, like I said, healing is, like you said, it hurts. It's not pretty. And that's why a lot of people fail, because that's the part that they want to skip. And that's why I say, really, I know you deal, and I want to go back to what you said earlier, Kajabo, when you say you deal with copycat energy. That's why they, the narcissist that's attacking you, they can't copy your anointing, because guess what? They're not going to go the long route, and they can't duplicate what God has ordained to you. So that's what I had to realize, like, stop worrying about them, because they can't duplicate what you have. Because first off, they're not even going to go through the healing process. They want to take shortcuts and they skip the healing process. That's why they always fall back down, because they didn't go through the fire. They haven't been forged and went through the fire like we have. So that's why they stay mad at us, because they know that we actually did the work and they took shortcuts. And that's why you see a lot of copycats, because they know that you got the right path. You the blueprint. And like I said, instead of them going through the path and finding their way, they want to take shortcuts and want to wear your crown like it's theirs, but your crown do not fit them. And that's why I had to realize, and that's why I stopped worrying about copycats, because not saying that nobody can't do what you do, but they don't have the courage to do what you do. That's why they're attacking you and trying to bring you down to their level, because you surpass them and they know that they can't rise up to it. Okay, Robert says, Jesus Christ is my Savior, will bring someone in my life that will love me. He definitely will. Just pray for it. Pray for your kingdom spouse. I promise you he will. And I'm going to be honest, and don't rush it, because I'm going to tell you, God don't move on our time. God move on his time. And a lot of people, like I said, they don't get their prayers answered because they move ahead of God. God wants you to be still. When you ask God for something, you pray, and you notice that God didn't answer it right away, be still. Like that verse say, be still and know that I am God. Because if you move ahead of him, I promise you, you're going to make the wrong move. You just got to stay in that waiting season. Because my thing is, if you rush and you get into the wrong relationship with somebody, that's why a lot of people, they getting killed, they getting attacked, they going through all this drama and chaos because they moving ahead of God. Everybody want to be in a loving relationship, but if the person that you're with is not in alignment, it's not going to work. And guess what? God is not going to ordain no mess. He's not going to bless no mess. If y'all not in alignment, y'all ain't going to get no blessing, because he's not going to bless you and allow that person. You might have an opportunity in your life, or you might have somebody that is using you, or just don't have your best interest at heart. They waiting for you to get your blessing so they can dethrone you. So God ain't gonna bless you if you got the wrong person in your life. If you got the wrong person in your life, you better go ahead and get them out your life now, because you would never see your breakthrough. Because God gonna hold on to it until you get rid of that person. That's what I had to learn. And you can't sneak and play with God. God ain't gonna let you sneak either and think you getting away. Okay, so let me see where I'm at. Okay. Child, welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Happy Sunday. You say my likes are blocked. My channel is shadow ban. Uh-oh. You have my love and support. Thank you so much for still stopping by. I pray that, your channel, that they unblock it. Okay, so Robert Horton says, have lots of nieces and nephews from Owensboro, Kentucky. Need to be saved. Their last name is Dennis. Okay, I definitely will be praying for them. All you can do is pray for them. Kajabi say copying me is like trying to contain Lionel Misa. I know that's right. And that's the thing, they can't copy you. And that's why they get mad. That's why they're attacking you. And that's why I said, and somebody hating on you when, like I said, you're doing your thing, and they'll find one little thing. Oh, such and such, they'll find something stupid to say, oh, your shirt don't match what you got on. Somebody like that is a hater. You cannot fall into those traps. They are a hater. And like I said, they mad because they can't copy what you do. They mad because they don't vibe at the frequency you vibe at. So don't let those negative, like I said, with people trying to copy you, that's a negative trait. I don't hang around copycats. If you around somebody you feel like they're trying to, compete with you or one up you, you got to dump them out of your life. Kajabi said God is like that strict parent. You can't fool him. Definitely, Kajabi. You right. A lot of people think they can fool God, but no, you won't. And I'm going to tell you something. When God tell you to get somebody out your life, or when he tell you things and you keep doing stuff, you going to face some consequences, and you ain't going to like it. So while you going through your healing stage and he tell you to do something, you got to take heed, because he's telling you for a reason. And I'm going to be honest, like a lot of people, when God tell you stuff, like you want him to show you right then, he's not going to show you right then, because some of the things that's happening in your life are being plotted against you. You might can't handle it, So so what God does is he'll show you gradually. And that's what I had to learn. And I start putting things together like a puzzle, like, oh, that's what that meant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, he'll show you, but he's not going to show you all at one time. You just got to keep praying, and just, like I said, just pay attention to any sign, whether it's a dream you have, whether, you have to pay attention to people, energies around you. You have to pay attention. Do I have anybody on here that's dealing with gang stalking? Because for some reason that is trending this year, gang stalking and people provoking your spirit. And that's something that I deal with a lot too. I don't deal with it no more because I got from around those people, but you gonna have people, that's gonna try to provoke your spirit because they mad, because like I said, you are humble and they don't know how to be humble. Okay, so Robert says everybody in your life is not good for your life. That's right. And you got to use your discernment to see, because I'm telling you, they'll be laughing in your face, but trying to take your place. And some of them will try to bully you out your spot. You got to be discerning. And like I said, you got to be careful, like whether it's your mother, your sister, your brother. You know, just because they're close to you don't mean that they won't hurt you. They will hurt you. And it's sad to say that, but the people that's the closest to you will be the ones hurt you the most. So you have to use your discernment, you know what I'm saying, and get from around them. And it's hard. I mean, and just because you move yourself, you know, remove yourself, that don't mean you don't love them. You just got to love them from afar. Because they can't go where God taking you in this season. And they know they can't go. So that's why they're attacking you and trying to pull you back down like a crab in a bucket. Okay, so Lady Boss says, it's like when I meet someone and they treat me the way I supposed to be treated, I get scared and I pull back from that good man. It's like I freeze up and run because in my hermit mood, in your hermit mode, yes, I can understand that too, lady. And see, that's what you don't want to do. When God bless you, you don't want to run from it. So, Lady Boss, I would encourage you, like, if you feel that way, just pray to God and ask him, like, God, you know, and ask him specifically about that person. Give God a name. Like, is this person for me? I promise you, if you in alignment with what God calling you to do, he will show you. Because he done showed me, like, everybody, you know, that I dated since I've had my awakening, God showed me, you know, they wasn't for me. And I'm going to be honest, it going to seem like nobody's for you. You be like, well, dog, God, nobody want to do the right thing. But for some reason, I hate to say this, you guys, but there's a lot of people operating in darkness and they prefer the darkness over doing right. A lot of people just don't want to embrace their truth. They want to live in manipulation and lies. And a lot of people, like I said, when it comes to relationships, you know, this generation is different. They don't want to date one person. They want to have options. They want to have, you know, have you as a backup generator. But you can't accept that. You know, God, you know, in this season, God is showing you your worth so that you can not allow people to disrespect you. And a lot of people, they're going to think you mean, and you have some people might think that you know, being masculine because you are standing in your power and you're not allowing people to manipulate and use you. A lot of people, they so used to you begging. They so used to you begging stuff, you know, begging them for stuff. They don't like people that's independent. Some people don't. And the ones that, you know, don't like you because you're independent is the ones that you need to back away from because they want you, you know, they want you weak so they can manipulate and control you. Okay, it's like when I meet someone. Okay, I read that one. Yeah, just find out the person got somebody else pregnant, then turn around and slip, tried to trap me. The crazy part, he tried just so I can struggle and beg him when he have a third party. Exactly. They want you to beg them and struggle. Cause see, when you struggling, a lot of people, when they struggling, it makes you be codependent on that person. And see, that's what they want. When they see that you dependent on them, that's when they abuse you because they feel like you need them. But when you show that person you don't need them, they can't control you. And see, that's the thing. That's where a lot of cheating and that third party thing, like what you're saying, come into play because they feel like, oh, she need me so I can talk to whoever I want to talk to. Because guess what? She ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Because she need me. But you got to show them that I will leave you. If you're not in alignment for what I want, I'll leave you while I'm struggling. I'll leave you while, you know, while I don't have everything I want. But what I'm not going to do is beg you. They want you to bow to them, but do not worship nobody. If you're in a season where you know, what I would encourage you to do, you know what I'm saying? Just work on yourself, build yourself up. And just because you being independent does not mean that you're arrogant or cocky. But that's what narcissists are trying to tell you, that you arrogant and you cocky because they want, you know, they want you to think less of yourself. They don't want you to be confident. They want you to be broke, busted, and disgusted. I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all what I know because I done been through it. Telling you what I know. And like I said, you know, and that's, you know, partly one reason, you know, why I'm single. I'm choosing to be single because there's a lot of people, you know, a lot of men, they don't want to do the right thing. They want, you know, they want you to just accept whatever. No, I'm not going to accept whatever. I'm not accepting nothing less than what I deserve. These are my standards. If you can't meet them, bye-bye. I'm gone. Because I'm not wasting my time. God didn't put us here to settle for less than what we deserve. And there's a lot of people, you know, dealing with ego and pride. You know, you got to let pride go to grow. Okay, so Bella says, everything now, I'm stressed out, not knowing if I'm pregnant or not. You definitely want to, you know, check to see. And like I said, I know how that is, especially when, if you are pregnant, all those emotions and stuff. But don't let that throw you off your game. Just go check to see if you are, and don't let nobody manipulate you. Don't get codependent on that person. And if you need coaching, Bella, like if you want me to teach you some strategies that can help you, I can help you as well. Show you ways to be, independent. Build your own streams of income, because I help with that as well. Help you heal from, narcissistic abuse, because that's basically what it is. Narcissistic abuse, when somebody wants you to be begging for their attention, or begging them why they go do what they want to do. No, you're not going to accept less than what you deserve. Kajabo say, when we fall into sin, we open portals to the demons. That's right. And the consequences are severe. I learned that the hard way. That's right. That's right. And sometimes it can be a smaller sin, but that small sin will open doors for attacks. I'm telling you, you got to repent every night, because sometimes you can open portals. Because like with me, in my spiritual warfare book that I wrote, it has a prayer in there, I pray for things unknowingly, that, sins that I committed unknowingly, and the ones that I commit knowingly, because we're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And God know that, but you have to repent for your sins. You don't, and make sure you don't keep repeating those sins, you know. But I got strategic prayers in my book to make sure you don't open no portals to no demons. So if y'all want to check that out, it's in my bio. Y'all better go get it, because it's very helpful. Okay, Robert Horton said that darkness won't take you to heaven. It sure won't. Going straight to hell, wide open. But see, that's the thing. Like, the people that's operating in darkness, they don't believe in God. You know what I'm saying? And that's why God, places chosen ones in certain areas to show them what could be possible if they, are in alignment. But like I say, they choose shortcuts. They too afraid to step into what God called you to do. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I say, the journey is painful. Healing is not pretty, and that's the part they're afraid of. So when they see somebody else did the healing, they get mad, and they want to basically steal your identity and wear your crown, like they went through the pain and the storm you went through while you still bleeding. No, you didn't earn this. I earned this, and I'm gonna walk in my calling, and I'm not gonna let nobody erase who I am or reduce who I am. You got to let them know, you're going to stand straight on business. You're going to walk in your power. Because like I said, a lot of people, they want to intimidate you. They want you to shrink, and they want you to be afraid of them. God, like I say, do not be afraid. Do not let nobody cause you to shrink. When I say stand on business, I mean stand straight on business. Okay, so Emerge says, be careful. The gang stalkers send men honey traps to set chosen ladies up. That's true, Emerge. I'm glad you brought that in. That's true. Honey traps, and also God brought to my attention called Legion bait traps. Be careful with those. So you guys, take heed to what Emerge saying about those honey traps. If y'all don't know about them, try to do more research and learn more about them, because that's how the enemy gets you, when you like the knowledge of knowing what certain things are. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Legion bait traps, I'm gonna speak on that maybe the next time I go live. I want to do a separate live for that, because that's just a whole nother topic. Okay, so it said be careful. That's crazy. That's crazy, Emerge, that they seeing gang stalkers. You said be careful of the gang stalkers, that they seeing men. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Okay, Bella Diamond says, yeah, we have to be careful who you sleeping with, definitely. Because you could be sleeping with the enemy. And some people, like I said, they're trying to get close to you, learn everything about you just to dethrone you and destroy you and take what you have. And you got to be careful, like I said, with the co-workers in the workplace. You got to be careful with oversharing your business, because like I said, you thinking you cool with the co-worker, you talking, they will go tell your manager, and they'll be all, like I say, gang stalking you together and trying to dethrone you out of jealousy and insecurity. And that's all. When people gang stalk you and come together and form groups, it's nothing but a group of insecure people. They don't even like each other. They all together because they have one common goal. They hate you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be friends with people that's, friends with the people in the hate train against you, because they trying to play both sides. So you have to be very cautious on dealing with people that's gang stalking. Okay, let's see. It should be okay. So don't. Yes, that why he tried to trap me. Yeah, you got to be careful. They will try to trap you, but you got to be discerning to those attacks. You're welcome, Bella. I'm glad I was able to help you. Help you. That's what I'm here for. And if you need extensive coaching, you can check me out of my bio because I definitely would be happy to help you get through it. Or if you want to, speak on it, I can teach you how to, do that as well. So Lady Boss say I'm having that problem too with my family members. I don't go around them because they feel like me and my kids gets through life easy. But I told them I went through so much in life. Okay, Lady Boss, I like that you say that, and I'm gonna tell you this: do not feel like you have to prove yourself to them. You don't have to prove yourself to them. And see, that's the thing with family. I can relate to you on that. You know what I'm saying? They will. Let me see. Because a lot of times, like I said, they envy it because with being the chosen one, they think your life was easy or they think that your life is handed to you because they already know that God is going to bless you. And see, they're not thinking about the story or the storm that you had to go through. They're thinking about that blessing. And they want the blessing for themselves. So they get mad at you and they try to say that your life is easy because they know that God is going to fight your battles for you. So that's why I think that they said that, Lady Boss, they know God gonna fight the battles for you. But with them, like I said, if you operating in darkness or if you a narcissist, God ain't gonna fight the battles for you. He gonna let you fall right in the traps, because guess what? You showing him that you don't need him. If you don't make space for God to come in your life, he's not going to help you. And see that what they don't understand. The people that's coming up to attack you, God is not going to help them, and cover them from them traps. He's going to let them fall into those traps. He's going to let them be hurt. I'm telling you, like, the people that's operating in darkness, they just don't understand what they got coming for them. Kajabo says, how do I know if I'm being gang stalked? So a couple of things that can show you that you're being gang stalked. If you notice that a lot of people are monitoring you, for some reason when it comes to gang stalking, a lot of people, they like to get up when you get up. Go, it depends on your area. Like, if you're in the workplace, I'm gonna give you a scenario for different ones. If you in the workplace, if you're noticing that a lot of people watching you, monitoring and watching or following definitely. If you notice that they're following you everywhere you go outside, they outside. You go in certain areas, they follow you. That's a indication that you're being gang stalked. And if you're noticing that this, because when you're being gang stalked, they form cliques. If you're noticing that groups of people are coming against you together, and you keep seeing these same people, you're being gang stalked. They're watching and monitoring your movements because, believe it or not, they're plotting so that they can attack you. So if somebody is gang stalking you, you want to catch it early. And I can give you more tactics if you want to do like a coaching session, because I don't really like to explain too much on here. Because like I said, your haters are watching you. And like I said, you don't want to give them the game for them to get smarter to be against you. So I have a community. If y'all want to, get inside my community, or if you want to book a session with me, we could talk about things more privately there. I'm trying to, I'm still putting together like a throne room so we can all get together and because I want to talk to you guys not just on here. Because like I said, we don't, when in my throne room, we're not going to deal with no trolls. We're not going to deal with all that. They're not going to be able to have access. Yep. Okay, so Kajabo, with the gang stalking, like, are you experiencing any crazy situations like that, or what are some indications that making you feel like you're being gang stalked? And while I'm waiting on you to respond, I'm gonna go to the next person. So Robert says, "I love everyone, don't want no one going to hell." Exactly, but sad to say, they don't feel the same way about you. Like they people be wanting to destroy you. And it's sad. You have some people though that, may have your best interest at heart, but you have to pray and ask God to show you your tribe. Because that's what I had to pray to do. But you got to be discerning because, like I said, I know I have a tribe, but you still have some, like I say, jealous coworkers or jealous friend groups or family members that's mad that you speaking out, that trying to be a part of your tribe. No, you're not a part of my tribe, but they'll try to get on there. But God will show you signs. Like I said, when people come in and attack you, that's how you know, Those are the ones that don't need to be on your tribe. Because when God, help you get a tribe, you're not gonna have people attacking you on your tribe. God don't put us here to attack each other. And the people that's attacking you, like I said, they can't reach where you at. They stuck and stagnant. Lady Boss said they want to see me and my kids down bad and dependent on them. But that's not going to happen. I'm going to keep rising. I feel I'm the black sheep of my family. Yeah, keep going no matter what. And see, that's the thing. They don't want you to keep going. They want to, attack you with all these distractions because, for one, when people like coming at you with all these distractions, they want to wear you down so you will stop. Don't stop. That's when you should apply the most pressure. Because when them people came for me, because I've been targeted, a lot of people came at me, but guess what? I didn't shrink. I stood tall, and I let them know that I ain't the one of the two. And like I said, I did it with grace. You have to do it with grace because what God don't want is you to seek vengeance or you to, retaliate. Because when you retaliate, sad to say, these crazy people, they enjoy feeding off your pain. They love when you retaliate. So you cannot retaliate with these individuals. If you see somebody that trying to provoke you, get from around them. Just pretend like they don't exist. And I got more strategies that I can help you with too if you need coaching on that. Because I master that. And I'm going to tell you, by the time, with the strategies that I teach, by the time you finish with them, they're going to be mad like, dang, why did I even bother her? Because you're going to be so unbothered. I teach you how to be unbothered. I teach you how to build that strength to where what they say will bounce off you like water. Okay, so Kajabo says, I just want to be aware of the signs. Definitely. And I can, like I said, I can tell you the signs, like I said, if you see groups of people grouping up together, monitoring you, looking like they're reporting back to you. If you notice that, like, say, for instance, you're in a workplace, if you notice that people just, especially people, because, wickedness are in high places. So there's a lot of people that's operating in darkness that's in those management positions as well. So if you noticing that they're watching you, not, more or micromanaging you a lot when they never did that before, it could be a coworker or somebody reporting or giving them information about you. That's why I say never overshare what God is doing in your life. Don't tell them nothing. Emerge says those haters or distractions trying to keep us from our purpose. No weapon formed against us, it should not prosper. It won't work. That's right. They want to keep you from your purpose because they're afraid. Because they already know that once you reach your purpose and once, you step into what God calling you to do, that it's over for them. Yeah, because we're not fighting with flesh. We're fighting with principalities and wickedness. So, these people are getting used by demons and evil vessels. I'm telling you. And they don't even, some of them don't even know it. They so empty that it's so easy for the vessels to use them. And they don't understand that while they trying to attack you, you leveling up. While they shrinking and they going down, they don't see that. Kajabo say, it's funny the way you pronounce my name. Oh, good. Look, you gonna have to help me. I probably done jack it up. Kajabo. Look, show me how to pronounce your name because I want to make sure I'm doing it right. I said Kajabo. K Jabo. I don't know. Help me out, K Jabo. I don't want to mess up your name. Robert says, Lord Jesus Christ, get a good purpose for me. He definitely will. God got a good purpose for everybody, but like I said, it's really up to you on if you allow God to lead you and guide you. Because a lot of people, like I say, they don't give God the opportunity. Like I say, he say if when he knock, open the door. They don't want to open the door. They leave God outside, so that's why God will never help them find their purpose. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't find their purpose because they want to walk into somebody else's purpose. And like I said, that's where that copycat energy come from. You got to walk and do what God telling you to do. You can't walk into somebody else's calling. Okay, Emerge said, I saw the demons in the people that gang stalked me and rebuked them and took, and they took off running. Exactly. See, ooh, Emerge, you speaking. You speaking tonight. And see, that's the thing. The people that's coming up against you, they don't know that you got something inside you that they end up being afraid. And see what God is doing, God is shining your light and putting them to shame. Because see, when people are operating in the darkness, they don't have no choice but to run away because they can't stand being in your light. It's like a bat being outside with the sun. That's just how powerful your light is. Because bats don't like being in the sun. They come out at night. But that's just how, when it comes to those narcissists, that's why they can't stand the chosen ones, because our light blind them, and it makes them, they don't want to do the right thing, so it makes them shrink, and it makes them feel small beside you. Kajaba said, it's fine, I understand. It's okay. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Robert said, my future is bright. That's right. Speak it into existence. You got to walk in your own calling. That's right. You cannot wear another person's crown because it's not going to fit. And that's what they don't understand. And I'm going to tell y'all something. In this season, it's going to be people that's coming against you. When God bless you and when God wake you up, it's going to be people coming against you that you wouldn't believe that's coming up against you. That's why he revealed their true colors before he bless you. And when he show you, it's going to hurt. I'm telling you, it's going to hurt. But you got to understand that, it's good to know who is doing that versus, just have them in your life. Because a lot of people, like I said, they don't know how to detect from people that's betraying them. But you got to cut them off with no explanation. And you just got to move unapologetic. Okay, so that's why I stay low key. Nobody know what I'm doing. Exactly. Never let them know your next move. I'm not sure if y'all seen it on my page, but I call myself Precious the Mysterious Hermit. I call myself that because I don't like to announce my moves. I don't announce my moves until I make them. I don't even announce them when I do that. You would just see what I'm doing. Like, oh, she's doing that now. Like, you can come to my page today and I'll be doing something completely different tomorrow and didn't even say that to nobody. They cannot stand when they can't predict your moves, because the people that's attacking you and the narcissists, they want to be able to control your movements. They want to know what you're doing at all times. But see, with the chosen ones, they cannot pinpoint what you're doing because, like I said, God taught you how to live and survive in the wilderness where you don't have to announce your moves. They won't know what you're doing until you do it. And by that time they try to copy you, you'll be on to 10 other things while they still stuck at trying to do the first thing you was doing. So that's why I say don't worry about your haters and don't worry about people copying you, because they can't keep up and they're not going to be able to do anything with you. I'm telling you. And you got to be careful, because some of your haters, they'll tell you what they hate on you about. Because I had one hater, they said to me, I can't keep up. They'll tell you. And I look at them like I didn't know you was competing, because I wasn't competing with you. I'm over here doing my own thing. With the chosen, we be so busy. We don't have time to compete. We so busy building and doing what God calling us to do. Robert says, Jesus Christ, my Savior, got a big blessing for me, Pastor Robert. He sure do. He sure do. Just speak it right into existence. Emerge said the best way to be is just move in silence. That's right. Emerge. That's right. You got to move in silence, because like I said, if you overshare with the wrong person, and that's the thing, like sometimes you can overshare with a person, you don't even know that person is not for you. But once you overshare the wrong information, that's how you'll see it. That's how I found out a person that wasn't for me. As soon as I shared them something good about me, they start hating, they start treating me mean, and they was in attack mode, trying to sabotage everything in my life. That why you can't tell nobody that. But like I said, I stood straight on business. I did not let their attacks, because see, one thing about the chosen ones, the betrayal that we experience, we outlasted. Like I said, they'll get burnt out by the time their attacks don't even land. Put it that way, they don't even land because they get burnt out. Thank y'all so much for liking live. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the support. Okay, so God, you said I don't trust no one. So exactly, it's hard to trust people, because my thing is they do so much dirty things or conniving things that make you can't trust nobody. Because I ain't gonna lie, since God woke me up, you know what I'm saying, and since I was in my hermit season, in hermit mode, I have not really been around nobody. I don't like nobody coming to my place. I don't like nobody being around my kids. It's just I'm very intentional with who's in my space. I'm very intentional with who's around me, because like I said, sometimes you could be going through a difficult situation, and say for instance you share that situation with somebody, that's whether you know it or not, some people be happy when you in pain. They be like, whoo, I'm glad, I ain't going through that. They just want to feel like they're doing better than you. Okay, so Kajabo says, what triggers gang stalking? Is it demons? What triggers gang stalking? Okay, so most of the time when exactly demons, yes, but what triggers gang stalking, like I said, when a person identify that they can't compete with you. Like I said, when we was talking about the copying situation, when they see that they can't compete with you, when they see that they can't outshine you, that's when the gang stalking starts, because they all gonna come together to try to take you down, because they can't, like I said, they want to tear you down because they don't understand your calling. And some people, they can't attack, they attack what they don't understand. And when it comes to the chosen ones, we always get labeled. I'm not sure if y'all can relate, but when you're dealing with narcissists, you'll either get labeled as difficult, you will get labeled as crazy, or you will get labeled as what's the other one they like to say? It's just all kind of stuff, you guys. I can't even think of the word, but it's just like it's so many labels that they'll label you. Because a lot of people, they think they think you crazy because, like I said, they haven't caught up to where you are. So when you're speaking or when you're saying things, they haven't reached your level, so they don't comprehend the frequency that you're on. So you can't really talk to everybody about things that's going in your life. But when it comes to the gang stalking, I want to encourage you guys, don't be afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a lot of people acting crazy. It's going to start feeling like it's a clown because it's like they want to do like a stage setup to where they have a lot of people come around. They'll actually try to orchestrate a downfall for you and set up stages and have audiences. Because a lot of these people that doing these attacks, they just want applause. Like I said, they're seeking validation. So like I said, they want to set up a whole stage to try to bring you down because like I said, they can't reach your level. Okay, so Emerge says, I've been labeled my whole life. I've never fit in. You say follow people. It follow people. God revealed to me that I'm a leader, not a follower. Exactly. And see, a lot of people, they'll try to label you because see, they want you to shrink. They don't want you to be a leader. And see, a lot of times when people are attacking you, that's why God rides you past them because while they living in pride and ego, God humbled you. So God trusts you because, like I said, you're humble. You're not trying to seek power. You're not trying to, steal people's joy. And to be honest with you, the people that are chosen, you didn't even ask to be chosen. And see, that's the thing. Like a lot of people want to be chosen, but they don't know what comes with it. So you're going to see a lot of fake people calling themselves chosen out here too. You know, I'm going to be honest. Most of the people that's chosen don't really call themselves the chosen one because I'm telling you, that title is nothing to brag about. I mean, it's good that God bless us, but going through the fire, that's not nothing to brag about. So I don't call, yes, I help the chosen ones, but I don't call myself chosen because I'm like, Lord, I've been through a lot. Okay, so Kajaba says, they say we are snakes and witches. And see, that's the thing. They want to try to label you. They might think that, the chosen ones do witchcraft, but the thing about it is, it's not that. What it is that the witchcraft that they send in you is going back to them because God is not going to allow their witchcraft to even touch us. See that? So that's the thing. They thinking you doing it because it's coming back to them tenfold. That's what that is. But we definitely not snakes. They don't. Oh yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, Kajabo, because when you say the word snakes, if they're not calling you a snake, they're calling you a snitch. Because I've been through that in this season too. Like, a person didn't really say it outright that I'm a snitch, but they said it around me where I can hear it, because I spoke up for being bullied and I spoke up for, because I was being gang stalked in the workplace. And because I spoke up, they want to call you a snitch. No, I'm not a snitch. I'm just standing on business. I'm not going to allow you to weaken me and make me surrender and shrink to your disrespect and dysfunction and insecurity. You have to stand on business. And like I say, they get mad because we're truth tellers. They can't stay because they live their life as a lie. They live in illusions. They pretend to be people they're not. They pretend, like they're unbothered, but no, they can't even stand in your light. And most of those people can't even look you in your eyes. Because I've been through that too with a lot of people. They can't even look at you. They're afraid of you. And then, when they're around a crowd, they try to pretend like they got power. You don't have no power. You want to control people and you want to perform for a crowd. You don't have no power. Okay, so you said Robert says, I don't have a lot of people in my space. My space is small. That's right. You got to keep, when you going to the top, your circle going to get smaller and smaller. You know why? Because a lot of people don't want to see you make it. You know what I'm saying? And they get intimidated because they don't want to do the work to heal, or they feel insecure where they are. So they going to fall off. And that's a good thing because when God elevates you, the wrong people is going to fall away from your life because they can't keep up with you. So don't look at that as a bad thing. Just look at that as God's, protection. So let me see. I used to be naive, used to be so naive. Now I don't trust no one. God opened up my eyes. A lot of people don't have good hearts. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Like, we naive because, like I said, you want to, as the chosen ones, you very empathetic. You want to help people. You love everybody. And I'm not sure if you like me, but I just want to get along with everybody. But in this season, I'm learning that you can't get along with everybody, and it's okay that you don't get along with everybody. Because, like I say, a lot of times with the people with the spiritual warfare, people are lashing out at you for no reason at all. That's what I'm learning. You don't, and you don't have to do anything. It's a lot of people that's operating in darkness and that's angry with themselves, and they just lash out. So don't look for support in this season. I mean, like I said, the support will find you. Your tribe will find you. So don't look for nobody to support you. If they don't want to support you, just cut them off. And if you got like a lot of people, like, I'm not sure if you got a platform, but if you got a lot of people lurking that calling them your family or your friends, and they're not supporting your page, they're not liking your stuff or not sharing your stuff or interacting with your stuff, you need to cut them off, because that's giving monitoring spirit vibes. Okay, somebody says, and yes, God will open your eyes to the wrong people that don't have a good heart. He definitely will, because he want to protect you. But like I said, when he open your eyes, you got to take heed to it, and you got to cut them out immediately. Don't wait. Okay, Emerge said they are the accuser of the brethren and the sister, and they are playing the blame game. Exactly. A lot of people that's attacking you, they don't want to rise. So what they're trying to do is they'll blame you like it's your fault that they where they at. Or like, say for instance with the chosen ones too, I noticed that a lot of people try to weigh your pain like it's theirs. Like, they'll take you through pain, they'll gaslight and provoke you, and as soon as you respond, they'll tell people, oh, it was them, they the one, they are the reason. And that's where that blame thing, they blaming you for some, to try to use reverse psychology when they know it's them the whole time. I made a video about that too. They'll accuse you, but it be them. What did they say when you warned them about attacking the chosen ones? Oh God, it's messy. It gets messy. And see, that's the thing. You can warn them all day long about attacking the chosen ones, but they're not gonna really learn until God put his wrath on them. And see, you have a lot of people, like I said, they're operating with that witchcraft or warlocks or whatever type of energy, dark magic. They know that they're not supposed to touch the chosen ones, but for some reason they get obsessed with trying to cause see what it is. Like I say, some people don't know that they're chosen. So if you are the person that you don't know you're chosen, or you lack the faith and the knowledge of being chosen, that's how they attack you. That's why they love to attack the chosen ones, because they want to get you before you reach your potential, because they want to stop you. And I'm gonna be honest, they may have been successful at stopping some people, because like I said, if you a chosen one of God calling you and you're afraid to take that step, then you blocking yourself. You can't let them, make you go in fear. Because like I said, I saw a lot of people, they had good potential. They seemed like they was into spiritual, but they let people shrink them down, and instead of standing apart, they blend in because they got afraid. Because a lot of people are afraid of the gang stalking, and and see, the thing about it with the narcissists, they'll try to use the chosen ones as example, like to other people, like, if you don't listen to what I say, I'm gonna punish you like I'm punishing them. And see that, and that's what make a lot of people shrink back. But I know, like I said, when I went through that, it felt like persecution. It felt like I was being punished, but I still say I'm gonna stand on business. I'm not gonna let nobody shrink me down or reduce who I am. I'm not gonna blend in with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? It was me against a bunch of people. But guess what? I still won, because I had God behind me. And they didn't see, that's the thing. They don't know that God is backing you. They thinking that they coming up against you, but no, baby, you coming up against a force. I'm a whole force. Okay, so what you think about a family member who is so curious about coming into my home? She asked me like 4 times to come visit me. I said no. Now that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? If somebody trying to pressure their way to come into my space, that's a red flag for me. Because some people, whether you know it or not, they do witchcraft. They'll bring their energies into your home. They bad spirits. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it took me a while, like I said, with this witchcraft stuff, because like I said, I didn't believe in it. But like I said, the Bible speaks of it. But people carry bad demons, and they'll come in your house and drop them off in your house. And they negative energy. So you cannot allow everybody in your home. And it's a motive. Like if somebody desperate to come to your home without you inviting them, that's a red flag all day. I would never let that person come in. But what I would do, like, meet up with them at first just to get a feel of how they really are. I'd be like, well, instead of being at home, I'd be like, I don't really like to be at home. Let's go hang out somewhere. Go hang out. Don't bring them to your house. Can't bring everybody to your house. You say, I don't trust no one in my home. Me neither. Because a lot of people, they try to come over there, they want to see what you got. They want to compare their lives to yours to see if they living better than you or if you living better than them. And if you living better than them, they're going to try to bring you down and attack you. Or you never know, they might try to have somebody break into your house or some crazy stuff. So you got to be careful. You say, I thought that was suspicious. That's very suspicious. That's a dead giveaway. Red flag. Okay, somebody says she's in another state. I don't know. I just find it strange that she's like so pressed about coming to your house and she asked you 4 times. I would definitely say, well, let's meet up. Let me see. I would say, let's meet and have lunch or something. Or I wouldn't bring them to my house. I'd be like, because my thing is, go get a hotel. We can meet up, go get a hotel, and we can hang out. We don't have to be at my house. Just tell her that you like to hang out. You don't like to be home. You can't bring everybody to your house. Point blank, period. Because you don't know what their motives is, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know what kind of energies these people have on them. And like I said, you be to have the wrong person in your house, and then all kind of negative stuff start happening to you, and you be like, dang, what's going on? You allow the wrong person in your house that coming in with them bad spirits. Yep. So like I said, I want to, okay, say last time she asked, I ignored her, and she stopped asking. You did the right thing. Because nobody should be begging to come to your house. I wonder if you asked to go to her house, what would she say? Don't come to my house. Well, I'm telling you, people, they want to see how you living. And some people, they want to see how you living so they can go spread your business. Oh, they got this or they don't have that. I'm telling you, it's a comparison game. Because it shouldn't be nobody that want to. Because my thing is, if I ask a person one time, hey, I wouldn't mind stopping by to see how you doing, and they seem like they're not really up for it, I'm not going to keep pressing myself to come over there. I don't, first off, I don't even like to ask nobody. I like to be invited. If you invite me, that means that you want me to come. I'm not going to invite myself to your house. That's weird. That's giving weird vibes. She is friends with the enemy. She showed it. They trying to get in your house so they can cause some chaos and confusion. Don't you let the people in there. Because y'all would say, I'm glad God Russian chose me. I know that's right. I agree with you. Because I'm telling you, since I was woke, I'm telling you, I be so cautious around people. And it be so hard because it make you don't trust a whole bunch of people. You got to protect your energy because you have some people that's trying to intentionally drain your energy. You got to be wary of those, be careful of those energy vampires. Nobody should want to call you and talk to you 4 and 5 hours a day. That's a whole shift. But I know I dealt with it. People want to call you, talk to you 4 and 5 hours a day like that's a work shift. I'm reserving my energy. I got things I got to do. Yes. So is there anything else y'all want to talk about tonight? y'all be having me laughing. I love coming over here with you guys. Y'all are so fun. Feel like my family. And I definitely appreciate you, Emerge, like for offering to be a moderator, because sometimes, like I say, when people come in that can throw you off, and like I said, if you're not careful, it can throw off your mood of your live. So with you coming in to help, that was very helpful. I appreciate that. Okay, so God say I'm so low key. Definitely, me too. You got to be low key. You can't, and see that's why people get mad because they can't figure you out. That's why I call myself the mysterious hermit. You can't figure me out. Because like I say, a lot of people, and you got to understand that if they only attack the powerful ones, you know what I'm saying? The ones that they can't figure out. They'll sit back and study you and still can't figure out, because with the chosen one, we keep them going back to the drawing board. Because they'll think they have you figured out, and they have to go right back to the drawing board. Like, dang, I can't figure them out. We like a puzzle that they'll never put together. Somebody say, hi, I'm back. You remember me from earlier? Yes, I remember you. I remember seeing your name. Welcome back. Thank you so much. We still on here going live, going hard. God say it's a power move. Yes, it's a power move. I love it. I love being undetectable. God don't even have us on the radar. They can't find us. They could try. They can't reach us. That's why they big mad. Because I'm going to be honest, like with this journey, at first, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what stage people are on their journey. But at first, you know what I'm saying, it's going to feel painful. Because like I said, you're going to be experiencing a lot of things that, you know, most people don't normally experience. But after a while, you're going to start laughing. Because I'm telling you, I be laughing at these people. And I'm not sure if y'all seen my videos, but I be making jokes out of it. And not in a way to seek vengeance, but I be speaking the truth. And I don't care if they watch. I want them to look at it. Because they going to know not to come for me ever again. You know, because sometimes, like I said, they coming for, they done got away. What it is, the people that's attacking you, they done got away with, you know, making people shrink down, making people feel weak. But when they come to you, you know what I'm saying, they get angry because they can't get you to break down. So, like I said, when you speak the truth, it really makes them upset because it publicly humiliate them just like they tried to do to you, and it embarrasses them because, like I said, they done told their whole crowd and the stage of people that they was gonna take you down. But guess what? They the one going down. Now the people looking at them like, wait a minute, the script done flipped. God done flipped the script on them. Okay, so Emerge say it is so amazing how the Lord works as you are talking and responding. The Lord is literally putting the words in my mind right before you speak them. I can feel the anointing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, God showing you, like I said, God bringing us all together for a reason. We got to, you know, work together as a tribe and not let people, you know, throw us off our game. Yep. And you, like I said, you could tell when people have the anointing. You know, like I said, God, and that's the thing. When I come here, God will give me the words to say. Because sometimes, like when I go live, like I said, I'm not used to really going live as much. But when I go live, I'm like, God, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about tonight. But here the words will just flow, and he, like you said, Emerge, he'll start, you know, downloading stuff for you to talk about. Because you never know what you might need to know or, you know, need help with. Okay, somebody said we're not in the radar at all. It's intentional. That's right. We in the wilderness. And look, y'all, I know y'all see my grass all in the back. I live in the wilderness. I love it. They ain't gonna be able to find me because I'm in the forest somewhere. I love it. Yep. Somebody say we are stealthy like F22. Yep. No, I don't speak Spanish at all. I wouldn't mind learning though. I would not mind learning. Yes, Lord. I just speak one language. Do you speak Spanish, King? Oh, thank you so much. Somebody say we love you. I appreciate you. Who's that? Lioness of Judah. We love you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love y'all too. And that's why I show up for you guys. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care what mood I'm in. I'm showing up because y'all show up for me. And I just want to take the time to thank you guys. I appreciate all the support and the love on my videos. I see y'all in the comments. I try to respond to each one, but it be so many of y'all. I just want to let y'all know I appreciate it. I'm so glad that y'all are, you know, comfortable opening up about your situations, because as chosen ones, so many people try to silence us, and it makes so many of us afraid to speak. But like I say, don't be afraid to speak. And like I say, I can't wait till I finish what I'm building and stuff, like, so I can invite you guys to it. Because we, like I said, everybody's not going to be able to see what we talking about. Because like I said, the enemy trying to stop us. Oh, you say, yes, you speak Spanish. Okay, that's what's up. I would love to learn. Do you speak English as well, King? Well, I know that was in English. Okay. So you speak English and Spanish. But I just want to let you know and encourage you guys too, for all the people that's dealing with gang stalking, people smearing your name. You know, God put me here, you know, to give you confirmation that vindication is here. Vindication is here. And if he led you to come to this live and led you to be a part of my tribe, vindication is here. He's getting ready to vindicate you right before all the people that's try to attack you, that try to, belittle you, that try to make you shrink, all the copycats. He gonna bless you right in front of them. And they're gonna be sitting back looking crazy, and they're gonna have to pick their face up off the floor because they done performed in front of a lot of people and lied on your name. This is the time we sit back, and like I said, God don't want us to gloat in their misery, but I ain't gonna lie, it's funny. It's so hard not to laugh at all the lies that they done told, and they thought they was gonna get away with it. But like I said, don't gloat in the misery, because God definitely get ready to put them to shame. Okay, go ahead, King. Say something in Spanish. I wish yeah. God get ready to put them to shame and humiliate them. And that's one thing I do like about being the chosen one. At least, we can be around people, like, say for instance, if you in a relationship or you around certain people, at least that we can discern their energy, so we'll know that, this person is not right for me. And like I said, we don't have to, talk to them for 10 years to know they're the wrong person. Because like I said, if you're not in alignment with God, and you in situations, God ain't gonna give you that warning like that. So you got to get yourself in alignment. So the people that's coming up against you and attacking you, they missing out on their life. They chose darkness over light. Okay, somebody says, yo, you don't mess with God chosen people. You sure don't. And see, they don't understand when they mess with God chosen ones. I made a few videos about that. You gonna pay for it. I'm telling you. Vindication season is here. It definitely is a merge. It is here. And that's why I'm here to, let y'all know. I'm the messenger for God. Vindication is here. God get ready to put a stop to all this madness. The narcissist was getting away with this so long. Like I said, what really gets me about this journey, like with my spiritual awakening, I have never seen so many people so happy to see people in pain. People are happy to see you in pain. And when I start seeing those type of people, it really, really disturbed my spirit. Like, I would never want nobody in my friend group that's happy to see somebody down or waiting on somebody to crumble. King says, hold on, I wish is the last word. Only thing I can make out is say subscribe. He's speaking in Spanish. So can you put that in English, King? Because I would love to know what they say. Okay, so Linus of Judah says they have a copycat of us who they plan on replacing us with. Exactly. But guess what? That's a counterfeit, because they could never replace the chosen one. Never replace the chosen one. They can try, but that person that they're talking to will never match your energy. They don't have what you have. Linus said God is within. Exactly. The law of one. Yep. Yes, and somebody said they rejoice when it's in pain. Exactly. And like I said, that's the craziest thing to do. Because God getting ready to put I'm telling you, those people that rejoice in your pain, they're starting to look like clowns to me. I'm like, these people are performing like they at the circus, like they set up a whole stage of people to laugh at you. And I'm like, if you why do you have to go find people to laugh? Like, they can't even build their own influence. That's the funny thing. The only influence they can build is the ones that, are demons and on that negative stuff. That's why they don't like the chosen ones either, because we can build influence. We attract people. We don't chase, we attract. They have to go chase down people to support them. We don't have to do that. Somebody said, chosen ones look away. You will not like how hard your enemies going to drop. Exactly. And see, that's the thing. Like, one thing about the chosen ones, like I say, we still have grace. You know what I'm saying? We don't seek vengeance, because the people that's hurting you, honestly, I can't speak for everybody else, but the people that hurt me, I seen what they were struggling with before they hurt me. And they don't even know that God called us to help them. But because they so jealous and let their envy manifest into spiritual warfare, they miss out on their blessings. And they don't even know that, when God put us in their life, that there was a test and they failed it. And see, when you fail that test, you can't retake it. And that's what they don't understand. I'm looking at them like, I passed my test. Oh, you good. He said, sorry, but you good. And I'm going to be honest, like, with the chosen ones, like, when we see, God's wrath on the people that hurt us, it's hard, because, like I say, just because You know what I'm saying? They hurt us. That don't mean you don't love them, because some of the people that hurt me, I still love, I still care about. But I'm just like, I cannot allow you back in my space because you done show me you move like a snake. And once a snake is always a snake. They're not going to change. You know what I'm saying? Unless they really go before God and go through that long process. But if you around a person and if they didn't go through the process, they keep taking shortcuts, you cannot allow that person back in your life, because they're going to hinder your success. And God is not going to bless them if you keep them in your life. He's not going to bless you, I'm sorry. They definitely going to get blessed because they moving funny, but he ain't going to bless you if you let them stay in your life. Okay, so let me see. I couldn't find work. I got the friend who was calling me every day when I find work. Now I heard from them once in a while. Now I hear from them once in a while. Okay, so they was calling you every day at first, and then now since you found work, they barely call you. They probably didn't want you to get a job. That would it sound like to me. Now you done got a job, you acting brand new. That's what they probably thinking in their mind. And that's what I'm telling you. Like, you'll have so many friends, they be glad when you down, you ain't got no job. I'm sorry to hear that. When they be happy, they be celebrating your downfall. Linus or Judy said, am I going through this? I've gone through that already. I've overcame a lot of those struggles. But if I had to say I was going through anything now, I would probably say I deal with gang stalking. You know, that's just something that, I don't know, it just happens everywhere I go. Like, a lot of people, they envy my independence. They envy that I'm confident in who I am. You know, they envy that I don't shrink. You know what I'm saying? So I deal with the gang stalking a lot. I deal with, I just recently deal with workplace bullying. I overcame that. So I don't deal with those no more because, like I said, I'm discerning now to the tactics. I know what to watch out for. So before the attacks even take root, I dismantle it because I already know what to look out for. Okay, King said my phone was acting up and it sent me out of your live. Uh-oh. That the enemy trying to get you out of here. Nah, bring him back in here. Emerge say that's right. First comes the lessons, then comes the blessings. That's right. And you might not like them lessons, but you're going to appreciate it later because I'm going to be honest, it's going to strengthen you. And you don't really know how much strength you have until you go through those tests. Because like with me, with my journey, like with the gang stalking, now that was something really new for me in this season. Like, I've been dealing with it for a long time, but like it's being new because I was awakened to it. Like, oh, wow, I didn't really know what it was, but I know that God kept putting me through that same test until I passed it. So if you don't pass that test, you're going to keep going through the same thing over and over again because he's going to make you face that demon before he take you to the next level. So whenever God's showing you something, just face it. Don't be afraid. And like I said, if I got somebody that dealing with gang stalking, I'm telling you, I can help you with it because I mastered that. Okay, so God said he was, and thank y'all so much for liking the live. God, he said he was calling me every day because I was stressed. I think he was happy hearing the stress in my voice. Yeah, they be happy. They be celebrating. I'm telling you, it's sad to think like that, but people be celebrating when you down. They enjoy hearing your stories. I'm telling you. It makes them feel, because see, they like when you stressed out because, like I said, if they're going through something, it makes them feel better about what they're going through because, like I said before, you probably, before you was going through that stress, they probably was intimidated by your light, intimidated by your drive. Because you got to understand, when you stressed out, or when you say for instance, if you in drunkenness, when you stressed out, or when you're not your best, that's when you're more vulnerable to the attacks because at that point the enemy consider you as feeling weak. You're not weak, but the enemy think you are during that time. So that's when they try to really, really celebrate. They love, because I had people, managers, coworkers, they love to see you in pain. They love to see you struggling. And sometimes they'll orchestrate things purposely to make you struggle. Because I had that happen before where, when it came to work, at the job, they give you certain assignments. They already know that it's setting you up for failure anyway. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know how to do it, but they want to get you to do it, to have you, trying to make you go crazy in your mind. It's like a psychological warfare thing. But like I said, I'm so smart. You know what I'm saying? I already know that. That was like, this right here is crazy. Like, I know this ain't, no real assignment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I start calling stuff how I seen it. And some people can't handle your boldness. And that's what happened. I'm like, I already know I'm being set up for failure. And I announced, and I was not afraid. Come to find out, they was afraid of me. And I'm like, I'm not even here to attack you, but like I say, when you stand on business, stand in your power, people get afraid of that. They intimidated by that. But like I said, as the chosen ones, we don't intentionally intimidate them. We intimidate them naturally, with just being our authentic self. They can't handle your vibration because they vibe so much at a low frequency. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to grow. And then, like I say, I'm not sure if y'all had this happen, but you're gonna have a lot of people. They're gonna try to say, "Oh, you think you better than us," or because they're gonna think, they're gonna try to call you arrogant or cocky because, like I say, you vibing at that frequency that they cannot catch up to. Okay, somebody said, let me see. That was somebody said, oh, let me go back. Okay, it's hard for me to relate to YouTubers who ain't really gone through much. Yeah, yeah, because that's the thing. If a person didn't go through your pain, they'll dismiss you, or they'll just look at you like, oh, that ain't nothing serious. But I'm telling you, the attacks that we go through is serious. You got to pay attention to the small detail things because sometimes people can silently torment you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they hide it, so they so strategic on how they attack you. Somebody said he was hoping I lose my home if I didn't find work. Yeah, they want you to lose your home. They want you to lose everything that you got going for yourself. And that's what you got to understand. When somebody is envious of you, they don't want what you got. They want you to lose what you have. I'm telling you. Because they looking at you like I say, you think your life easy, or you know what I'm saying, it's not fair that you have what you have. They don't care the simple fact that you work for it, the simple fact that you grind, you got on your knees and pray before God for everything that you have. But for them, like I said, they want to ease a way out. They chose darkness over light. And they don't have what you have because they don't want to put the work in. I noticed since 2020, the enemy has been persecuting the chosen ones at an enormous rate. I've noticed it too. I didn't notice it since 2020. I kind of just got, I always felt as a chosen one, I'm like, dang, I feel like every time I reach the level of the confidence that I want to get to, something always try to shrink me back down. You know what I'm saying? I've been going through the attacks, but I didn't really understand it till I was awakened. You know what I'm saying? That was going on for a long time, and Merge, you right about that. Linus of Judah say, for you to relate to us, you have to know what it feels like to be at the rock bottom most of your life. Exactly, Linus. And that's how it is. Like the chosen ones, like I said, God take us, to rock bottom because, like I said, that's how He humble us. You know what I'm saying? So when we done been to rock bottom, like, the people that's attacking you, if you notice, they're into materialistic things. They worry about money. They worry about the wrong things. But a person that done been to rock bottom, we don't focus on the material. We all about the spiritual. It's the spiritual wealth for me. You know what I'm saying? People, they'll try to impress you with what they drive. They'll try to impress you with how much money they got, how big their house is. Like, none of that impress me. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Those things are nice. But I want spiritual wealth because you cannot take material things with you. Yep. And see, you got to understand, like, with the people that's coming up against you, they so used to people handing them stuff. They so used to being codependent on people and letting people, pave the way for them. But see, with the chosen ones, we independent. We don't have nobody paving the way. We pave the way ourselves. And like I said, when we do stuff to them, they looking at how you do that. You're not supposed to be able to do that. And they don't understand that, yes, we are supposed to do it because we put the work in, you know what I'm saying? And we actually work hard for what we do. We earn everything we do. We don't wait for, we're not bowing to nobody. We're not looking for no handouts, you know, and we don't shrink, we rise. While they shrink and, waiting for a handout and waiting on somebody to hand them a position that they know they didn't deserve. A lot of people are in positions that they don't even deserve. They don't even understand what leadership means or how to even be a leader. Because they people let insecurities get in the way. And if you're working at a job, I'm telling you, sometimes those 9 to 5s for chosen ones, it can be a trap because when people see how smart you are as a chosen one, they will try their best to step on you. I'm telling you, they'll try their best to step on you. They'll try to suppress your shine. They'll try to, like I say, that's why you go through the smear campaigns at work because they want to, try to mess up your name before people start seeing who you really are. For some reason, people want to keep us as chosen ones. They want to keep us hidden. They don't want nobody to find out how, how hard we are. Okay, so who's this? Um, how do you believe in God? Okay, so yeah, everybody on the, if you in this live, you gotta believe in God if you in this live, because people that don't believe in God, this live is not for you. Okay, so let me see. Would you pray for me? I'm a mother of 4 children dealing with demonic thoughts and mental torture. Yes, I definitely will. I definitely will, because I know, I hope I'm saying your name right. I definitely will. Do you believe in God? The person that asked the question, do you believe in God? Because that's what our life is all about. A lot of people, you know they might not have as enough. Some people lack the faith when it comes to God, and some people may not believe in God as much as they should, because they're not in alignment with what God telling them to do. When you're not in alignment, God is not going to move in your life. But when you are in alignment, that's when you see God moving. So a lot of people, like I said, it's so easy for some people to say they don't believe in God because they're not in alignment, and they don't think that God is capable. They don't know the magnitude of what God can do in your life. Okay, so they say, yes, I believe in Jesus. I accept him as my Lord and my Savior. Okay, I just want to make sure, yeah. Because, everybody that's a part of my tribe, we believe in God. We don't, I don't deal with no tarot card. We don't do that. I only serve one God. Okay, so somebody says better because we don't engage with them in the circus. That's right. We sure don't. We surely don't. Okay, somebody said, I realize some people are just religious, but not God people. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. If you in a relationship with somebody, you got to ask them, who do you serve? Because I mean, they might not be serving the same God you serve. So I ain't gonna lie, that is something very important. Before you get too serious with somebody, you got to make sure y'all on the same accord with the same God. Because some people, I'm telling you, they look at other stuff as God, and you don't want to be caught up in it. Because I'm telling you, if you get caught up with that person and you stay with them, God is not gonna bless you. You will never hear God. Like I said, you got to go to that quiet place and get away from all that stuff. Like I said, people are afraid of God. They're afraid of, yes, we should be afraid of God, but not in afraid of, like, terrified in the way like he gonna hurt us, because God is not gonna hurt us. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in alignment. But he allows some things to happen in your life if you're not in alignment. I'm gonna put it that way. You leaving yourself vulnerable for the text, because God give us free will. You got to allow him, and you got to surrender to him. If you want, you want him in your life. You cannot have pride, because when you have pride, that's telling God that I don't need you. I feel like I'm above you. You know what I'm saying? Or like I said, if you're dealing with people like in the workplace, or family groups. A lot of people, they so arrogant, and the ones that don't want you to get above them, they arrogant. They don't. I feel like they don't believe in God, because they feel like, some people feel like they are God, and that's why God, putting a stop to it in this season. You know what I'm saying? And he's showing them that, you're not in charge. I am. A lot of people want to be in charge of what happens to you. They want to be in charge of your emotions. They want you to be, live your life in fear. But God did not put us here to be controlled and live in fear. If you're around somebody that's trying to make you be afraid, they operating in darkness. They either a warlock or witch, or they do witchcraft. You got to get from around them, because a lot of people, they are obsessed with control in this season. I don't know what it is about that, but you cannot be around people that operate like that. Because if you talk to somebody like that, it's only going to attract chaos and confusion. That's how you'll know that is not of God, you know. But I was gonna say, Tisla, like, if you need more guidance or more coaching about God when it comes to those attacks, I do have a spiritual warfare prayer book, and I do have some coaching sessions available. I can help you with, like, to help you strengthen your faith, because like I said, I know how it is. Like, some people believe in God, but like I said, being that, some people might not know the magnitude of what God could do, because I didn't know the magnitude of what he can do until I was awakened. I know I believe in God, but I had no idea how real, he is, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, not that I doubted him, but because I didn't know. I wasn't living in alignment back then. So I didn't see him moving in my life because I wasn't in alignment. Or he probably was moving in my life, but when you're not in alignment, you can't see. You're blinded by distractions. You're blinded by the enemy. Okay, somebody said, let me see. I realize some people are just, okay, I read that one. I realize some people are just religious but not God people. That's right. I got self-respect, but people always say I'm prideful. I feel like there's a difference between pride and self-respect. Exactly. Some people might, like I say, with the chosen ones, they call you prideful because, like I said, they may be calling you prideful because, like I said, your confidence and you radiating in a power that they don't understand. And some people might, confuse self-respect with pride. Self-respect is not pride. You just standing standing on business and you standing on your boundaries. Narcissists, they hate boundaries. If you notice that a person trying to intentionally overstep your boundaries, you're dealing with a narcissist firsthand. Okay, somebody said most people think going to church is enough. They don't know what you have to. They don't know that you have to be aligned with God first. Exactly. You said a whole mouthful. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, sometimes, some people don't have to go to church all the time. As long as you got a relationship with God, it is good to go to church to be reminded. But sometimes I hate to say it, but it be people in the church operating in some stuff they don't need to be operating in either. So, most people, just because they say they go to church, that don't mean they're in alignment, you know. And to be honest with you, like, I don't really like to be around too many energies at those churches. Like, with me being a prophetess, I have my own covering and I have, I do my ministry from home. I don't like too much being around a lot of people because, like I say, you have some churches, they don't want to really, they money hungry. I'm gonna just be real with you. They money hungry, or they be asking for stuff. I know y'all heard about that pastor talking about close them doors. Who was that? Like I said, people be hungry. He said, close them doors. I know y'all heard about it. That was so funny for me. That was too funny. And telling people to give up a certain amount of offering. When it comes to offering, people should give what they want to give. Nobody should be forced to give a certain thing. I know they say something about 10% when you go to church, but if somebody don't have it, they don't have it. You can't force nobody to give you a certain amount of money. Somebody say, hold on, let me see. People think, okay, can you pray for my cousin's dad because he doesn't have a job and he's on bad stuff. He smokes and drinks beer and fights with cousins and moms. And sometimes you go to a pawn shop, they go to a pawn shop and like a fun stuff. I definitely will pray for them. I definitely will. And Murray said it's all about a relationship, not religion. We have to make the decision every day to take up our cross and hold on to hope. That's right. You right about that, Emerge. Okay, somebody said just to get $10 for beer and cigarettes. Oh Lord. I'm telling you, when it comes to people drinking and smoking, those are bad habits. You know, I have family members that dealt with that too. It's hard to get rid of. You don't want to deal with that type of stuff. Any addictions, that's of the enemy too. Trying to keep you bound. Oh, yep. Emerge said Marvin Sapp. Yep, that's who it was. Wanted them to shut the church down until he raised $20,000. Yep, that's exact. I'm telling you, you can't be like that. If somebody want to give to you, or if they feel like your covering is good, they'll give. You can't make it, and you could tell that the people that was behind that pastor was afraid. They looked afraid of him when he was asking for that money, and they hurried up and got out their pocket too. I would have looked at him like he crazy. Somebody said God must unite his awakened chosen ones. He's doing that right now. I'm telling you. He's waking a lot of people up. And I just want to tell you, too, a lot of people that came up against you with the smear campaigns, the people that just followed them and got on the hate train, he waking some of them people up. And they starting to see that the person that started that hate train is the one that they need to look out for. So that's another thing that God is doing. He's waking them up, too. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to end up turning on because the people that come up against you, whether you know it or not, they end up turning on each other. And that's a part of the betrayal, that's a part of God's vindication. Because like I said, they don't even like each other, but they come together because of you. Somebody said, me either. I pray at home. I pray every day. I stopped going to church. Something repelled me from church. I got people I met invite me to different churches. I don't feel like going. Yeah, don't let nobody force you to go somewhere that you're not comfortable. Don't do that. And if yo and I'm gonna be honest, like with the chosen ones, like it's a lot. Your body, being that your anointing so strong, it will repel off the wrong energies. Anything that's not of God or anything that's trying to get you to go to the wrong direction, you're gonna repel it. Cause I'm telling you, like with me, like I know with my anointing repel a lot of stuff, and it be some stuff that I'm like, dang, I really thought, this was for me. But I'm telling you, when your anointing repel it, take heed. My grandpa caught him doing drugs in the restroom. Oh no. And see, that's why I said that drug addiction is horrible. That's of the enemy. And see, the enemy wants you to be on drugs. He wants you to be drunken. Because I'm telling you, when you in those energies, you're more vulnerable to those attacks. And it open more doors and portals for the enemy to attack you. Yeah, but I keep praying, King, for you. Okay, Emerge say rejection is God's protection. That's right. You better know it. Because we always give him money. Oh Lord, and see that's the thing. You got to stop giving him money. You got to stop supplying his bad habits. Because I know I had people around me, in family and stuff, like when they got bad habits, you stop supplying them. Guess what? They ain't gonna be able to do it. You got to teach them. That's not up for us to teach as a chosen one. That's a lesson they got to learn with God. But what I would say is I would not supply anybody bad habits. I don't mind helping people, but if you know somebody is using you, and if you know somebody doing something for a bad cause, do not support that cause. Okay, somebody say, guys, it's time for jokes. Let's get it. I like jokes. I'm all about it. I like having fun in here. Welcome in, Gerard Rainer. I appreciate you coming in. We just in here having fun. The topic we was talking about earlier was 3 signs or 3 different things or reasons why most of the chosen ones basically fumble their crown. Hold on one second. Okay, I just wanted to say that, so the actual topic was the 3 things costing you your crown. And the first one, like I said, was settling for counterfeits, carrying dead weight, and doubting who you are. So that's what we was talking about earlier. Just trying to give you a recap of what we was talking about since you just coming in. That's why the Holy Spirit is necessary to steer you in the right direction. That's right. And the Holy Spirit definitely would do that. So as a chosen one, like I said, if you afraid of making the wrong move, you will be redirected. Because I'm going to be honest, like as a chosen one, like with us, it makes you feel like you have to guess what's next. But you have to embrace the unknown. And it's hard to do that because, like I said, that's why you have to lean on faith, because what the enemy will do, he'll try to have everything, falling down around you. It'll seem like everything is crumbling around you. But if you believe and keep that faith, you'll keep going. No matter what's going on, you'll have that hunger to keep going. Because I'm telling you, it's so many things happening around me. You know what I'm saying? It's some moves that I made on the strength of faith. You know what I'm saying? That I knew that I thought was going to dethrone me. But I made those decisions. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That didn't, that wasn't so bad. So the more faith that you have and the more steps that you take, it'll make you more confident to keep going and keep trusting God. So now, like I said, if I want to make an investment, I don't be afraid. If I want to start something, I just start it. Because my thing is, if you fail, guess what? You're going to get right back up as a chosen one. Somebody said, that's why, let me see. My grandpa gave him $5 for his car gas, but he's spending on beer. And that's the thing, like, that's why you shouldn't supply people addictions because they're not going to spend it on the right thing. And that's the thing, like, he gave him $5 for gas and he chose to spend it on beer. And guess what? Now you ain't got nothing to drive. And see, they don't think about it till the last minute. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to go ask somebody else for that $5. Some people, they'll try to ask about 10 people for $5 for the same reason. And they'll be done, flam people out their money. I'm telling you, them addicts is a trip. Okay, so Gerard Rainey say, thank God for that. What you just mentioned made me think of how to get out of our comfort zone. Yes. That's what God wants you to do. He wants you to get outside your comfort zone. He don't want you to stay stuck and stagnant. Because you know, the enemy trying to keep you stuck and stagnant, and how he do that is he's using people with empty vessels to keep you stuck in your trauma. That's why you have a lot of people around you trying to control your emotions. They're trying to intentionally provoke your spirit, trying to make you angry, trying to gaslight you. Like, people are doing it because, like I said, they're working of darkness. They're not, you know, they don't believe in, they can't believe in God. They're trying to provoke you for no reason. Somebody said he knew because the cashier told my grandpa he bought. Oh Lord, that's so sad. He trying to hide what he do with the money. But all you can do really for that situation is pray for them, because one thing you can't do is force somebody to, you know, do something that they're not ready to do. You can mention it and tell them the consequences, but, you know, the only way you can help that situation is stop supplying their need. Because if they don't got the money to go do it, guess what? They can't get it. So eventually, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you know, by you praying to God to bless him, hopefully God will help him get on the right track, whoever that is that's have that addiction. But see, the thing about it is, you can pray to God all you want to, but that person, they got to want to be, they got to want to do the right thing. Because like I said, God, he'll knock, but if you don't open the door, guess what? That's on you. That's on you, baby. Yes. But I ain't going to hold y'all too much longer. I had a wonderful time talking to you guys. It's so many stories that I have to tell you guys, you know, but I'm going to save that for a later time. But thank y'all so much for showing up for me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope y'all have a good night. And, you know, just stay prayed up. Somebody said gaslighting is in the church big time. My circle is like a midget small. I know that's right. You got to stay, keep it real tight, you know. But before I leave, you know, I'm going to answer, say something to Gerard question. Like, you know, just be careful with the gaslighting. Don't respond to the gaslighting. And I'm a and pray against that gaslighting too. Okay, somebody said all the people from the block knew him because they always saw him drinking. Oh, that what King said. Yes, that's how it is. Bye-bye. Thank you for your time. You're welcome. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Say a prayer before you go to sleep. See y'all later. Talking about tight like airline security. Y'all be happy. I want y'all to come back now. Y'all come back to my next live. We had so much fun. Keep an eye out in my community, and I'll let y'all know when my next live gonna be. Okay, bye, you guys.